Hey guys, this is Rachel from 3rd CSE. Today I'm going to be explaining my 7th exercise in database. So here we're going to see about triggers and cursors. So in this exercise, I'll start by defining what a trigger is. A trigger is a set of structured query language SQL statements that automatically fires an action when a specific operation such as changing data in a table occurs. A trigger consists of an event, either an insert, delete, or an update statement issued against an associated table. An action. The triggers are used to preserve data integrity by checking on or changing data in a consistent manner. So trigger is just basically an action that takes in response to a particular event. So having explained that, let me move on to my questions. So in triggers, my first question is to create a simple trigger that does not allow insert, update, and delete operations on a supplier table. So for that, so for that I've just creating a trigger is done by giving create or replace. So this is just similar to a procedure or function where we use replace so that the user can make further modification in that particular trigger, and he doesn't have to write that trigger every time he wants to make some change. So trigger, and the trigger's name is going to be trig1 before insert or update or delete on supplier begin, and and inside this execution part is written raise application error modification which is not possible. And so in this, as you can see, if any after this particular thing is given, if any kind of modification is like either insertion or deletion or updation is tried to made on that particular supplier table, an error will be raised, such as saying the modification is not possible. That is it for my first question. And my second question is to create a trigger that raises an user defined error message and does not allow the updating order does not allow updating the order table. So in my second question, I'm going to create the same. This is similar to my first. I'm just going to do create or replace trigger to before update on supplier begin. And when this is just for update. Previously we saw for all three, and this is just for update. So when a particular person tries to update a value inside the supplier table, the message called updation not allowed will be displayed. As you can see, the trigger has been created. So when a person tries to update, that particular error message will be displayed. So the third is to write a PL SQL script to display the supplier tables who has a rating greater than 3. So for this, yeah. So as you can see here, I'm going to. This is this I am supposed to do with cursors. So for cursors, first I'm going to initially declare the value. So I'm just going to declare the value like product ID. See, the product ID is that particular variable, and the order line dot product ID percentage type will input the value of product ID, which is an order line table, into that product ID, into this product ID variable. The next is also the similar one, ordered quantity, order line dot order quantity percentage type, the same thing. The ordered quantities value will be inputted into this order quantity variable. Then for starting a cursor, I'm just saying cursor C2 is select distinct product ID and order quantity from the order line table. This is the command. So this particular cursor will the result of the select will be saved in this cursor C2. So in this, I'm just going to say I'm just going to display the product ID and the order quantity from the order line, where the order for all those order quantity which is greater than 10, and begin. I'm sorry. And begin inside the execution part. I'm just going to open the cursor C2, and then I'm going to display that the product IDs are, and inside a loop I have to fetch the values into the cursor C2 into product ID and ordered quantity. So into product fetch the value of the C2 into that product ID and order quantity variable, and I have to exit C2. I will have to exit the cursor when the values are not found. So I have to display the values like product ID and ordered quantity. Product ID and ordered quantity. And as you can see, for all the product ID and order quantity which has values greater than 10 will be displayed here. So for the ID 4000 has ordered 11 products, and 3001 has ordered 20 products. So as you can see, this is the set of, these are the set of IDs, and these are the set of quantities which have been ordered. That is it for my third question. And my fourth question, oh sorry, I just explained the fourth question, I'm sorry. My third question is to write a PL/SQL script to display the supplier who has rating greater than 3. For that, for that again I must do it using a cursor. So I'm just going to input the value of the supplier's ID into this SID variable. So as similarly, like how I explained in fourth question, here the supplier.sid will retrieve that value and it will be put into this SID. And similarly I have done for all the SID, sname, gender and sdate. Then a cursor C1 is created, and the select statement is to select this ID, name, gender and date from the supplier table where the rating is greater than 3, and I have to begin the execution and open C1. And inside the loop, I have to fetch the value of C1 into these particular variables: SIDs, name, gender and date. And when the exit condition comes when the cursor C1, no value is found in cursor C1. And in the DBMS output line, I have to display the supplier ID, the name, gender and date. As you can see, this row is going to be my supplier ID, this is my supplier name, this is my gender, and this is the date in which that particular the details of the customer whose rating is greater than 3 is getting displayed here. My third question is done, and my fifth question, fourth I have already explained. So my fifth question is to create a trigger to warn that the supplied quantity is greater than that of the ordered quantity. So as you can see here, I have to create or replace a trigger called extra stock before inserting into the supplier table for each row. So the order quantity, the variables are going to be order quantity and supplier quantity, and two variables are being created, and the cursor is going to be named as extra quantity and this is the select statement. Select the ordered quantity as O quantity and store it inside new.O quantity as S quantity from the supplier table. So this is the alias name, and order line, this is the O is the alias name, where the product ID is set to be equal to that of the where O dot product ID will be equal to that of old dot product ID will be equal to that of the, I mean, O dot product ID is the ID which is already present will be equal to new dot product ID. And inside begin the execution part. Inside a for loop, I'm going to check if the extra dot s quantity is greater than extra dot o quantity, then this particular message will be displayed like supplied quantity is higher than that of the order quantity. So as you can see in here, when the trigger is created, I have to end the if loop, and I have to end the for loop, and I have to end this loop. So when a value is entered where the supplied quantity is greater than that of the ordered quantity, this error will be displayed as supplied quantity is higher than that of the ordered quantity. That is for my fifth question. My sixth question is to write a trigger to update the order table whenever the customer ID is updated in the customer table. So for this, I've just created another trigger, and then the same thing inside the execution here for each row means that this particular thing will be executed for each and every row, and begin, and this is my command: update order set quantity is equal to new dot customer ID, where customer ID is equal to old dot customer ID. So the question was to update the order table trigger to set up a trigger when the order table is updated whenever the customer ID is updated in the customer table. So as you can see, this is my update statement, and this will be displayed. This trigger will be generated. Customer ID updates on order table. Whenever the customer ID is tried to be updated in an order table, this particular error will be displayed. So as you can see, the trigger has been created. So this is it for my 7th exercise. All 6 questions have been explained. So I hope you guys like this video. Thank you for watching.